A big day for South African motorcycling at Kyalami, going to the final two races of the 1998 CMS Superbike Championship with three riders in contention for the title. There's the main challenger for his first Superbike title, that's Brett McLeod on the Elf Suzuki. On the Nasher Honda, Russell Wood, currently South Africa's most successful motorcyclist, he's on a mission. He lies third in the championship, but has only got an outside chance of retaining his Superbike championship. Here is on his qualifying lap and looking very good, looking for pole position as he comes up to his favourite corner at Goodyear corner, 90 degree, left hand, he loses it. He caught it again, and that bike is getting destroyed in the kitty litter there, and Russell Wood very sore. There's a lot of work ahead for his pit crew. They're just 3 hours away from the first race if they can repair that Honda. Leading the CMS Superbike Championship by a few points is four-time Superbike champion. That's Greg Dreyer from Cape Town on the Castrol Honda. And so far, Dreyer's had 7 wins this year, and he's all fired up. And more than anything else, he wants to win back his Superbike title from Russell Wood. He's come through practice without any moments, and he's on pole position as he discusses race tactics. Well, the points position with 2 races to go shows that Greg Dreyer, there it is, who has finished every race, leads Brett McLeod by 22 points. But you have to drop your worst score in the second half of the season, so Dreyer loses 11 points and is just 11 points ahead of McLeod. The crowds are here, the national anthems have been played, 30 riders lined up and ready for the final rounds of the CMS Championship, which is going to be run in conjunction with the Nasher Superbike test against the Australians. The front row, 3 South Africans and Andrew Pitt from Australia, as they get the green light, and we're in business, 10 laps ahead of them, 42 Ks of the circuit at Kyalami. As they sweep down to the Penzol curves, it's the South African Brett McLeod, the main challenger for the CMS Superbike Championship, has gone to the front. Up to Nasher, now the adrenaline is really pumping with these riders. On his tail, number 7 is Graham from Badar having his last ride on the Elf Suzuki, and then number 2 is Greg Dreyer from pole position, the man who leads the championship at the moment, as they all streak through the windful S's and go up onto the shelf at West Bank. South Africans lying 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 with McLeod and Graham from Badar leading Greg Dreyer as they leave West Bank corner down the mine shop. Absolutely flat out. It's McLeod looking so good. We're on board. He's our cameraman, is Greg Dreyer. As he gets onto the brakes now for Vodacom corner, you can hear it's flat out. He goes inside from Badar and right onto McLeod's tail. Takes his line through, doesn't leave a lot of room for the man he's passing, is Dreyer. He's really on a roll today. And Robbie Peterson has moved up into 3rd position. He's on the shelled Kawasaki. Dreyer in 2nd position behind 46 McLeod. 7 is from Badar, he's gone back another place. MW's Mark Willis from Australia is all streaked through here. And Russell Wood from 14th on the grid, that's where he qualified before he had his praying, has come up into 11th position. He's picked up 3 positions, and we've only gone a lap. Down through the start-finish area, Dreyer's on a roll now, right on McLeod's tail. And look at those darkening skies just behind them. It's very dark over Kyalami at the moment, and South Africans are in the front. They're doing a good job against the Australians in this test match, but it's the South African Championship we're concerned with, as Dreyer gets the way from McLeod, and McLeod knows he's under pressure. What wonderful shot. He goes for the inside of Goodyear sweep, and Dreyer's going to the front. He's taken him where there's no gap at all. He comes from nowhere, does Greg Dreyer. Looking very good in the front there. McLeod won't let him get away with this, that's for sure. The man in 3rd position is Andrew Pitt, the Australian. Comes from Melbourne, he's on that shell Kawasaki and showing what a Kawasaki can do. It's Greg Dreyer leading Brett McLeod, that determined Brett McLeod. There's the comeback, he's right on his tail as they go down to the West Bank. The Winfield S's on their way to West Bank. And Andrew Pitt on the Kawasaki is closing in on those 2 South Africans. Those Kawasaki's have really started to show their worth here today. Robbie Peterson in 4th spot at the moment. The green ones are the Kawasaki's. The red, white and green are the Castrol Hondas, and then the blue are the Elf Suzuki as they come through. 28 is Sean White. Graham from Badar is lying there in 6th spot at the moment. Look at this for motorcycle racing. Andrew Pitt's gone to 2nd. He's going to challenge Dreyer. Takes a tighter line as they come through the start-finish area past the pit boards. The Kawasaki's are known to produce more power at the back wheel, and here comes Pitt now going for the inside of Dreyer. Down the Penzol course, what a place to do it. Dreyer won't let him get away with that. He's got a tighter line, and Pitt, the Australian, has gone to the front, but the fight for the South African title is going on just behind him. The championship leader is Dreyer. No, he's lost out to McLeod. As they come up to Nasher, busy riders there down through the box. They're going to put the brakes on, the camber's wrong. It's a very, very busy corner indeed. Robbie Peterson's holding on there in 4th. One of his best rides this year. In the gloom of the afternoon, it's Andrew Pitt. 46 McLeod, 2 is Dreyer, 31 is Peterson. Just behind him, that whole bunch of talented riders. And McLeod trying to go around the outside of Pitt. They are so charged up, these South Africans here, fighting out their championship and the test. with the Aussies, which they lost last year by just 3 points. Dreyer couldn't get any closer. He's got our camera on board. As he comes along the straight, he's going to take McLeod on the inside to win for Alessis. No, he's not, says Brett McLeod. His knee scrapes the deck. He goes across the curbing. He's going to go, he's going a little bit wide, and Dreyer's coming through the middle. He's got Pitt in his side. Pitt doesn't know which line to defend. Dreyer's going to go around the outside as they come up there. But look at McLeod, up through the middle. Can you believe it? He's gone between them and reclaimed second position behind Andrew Pitt. What? It's a 7-way battle that's going on here at the moment. Pitt, 46 is McLeod. This Australian is really giving it his all. He rides a Kawasaki in Australia. He was out here early in the year at Kyalami on a Yamaha, but this bike certainly suits his riding style. 2 is Dreyer, 31 is Peterson, 28 is Sean White, 7 is from Badar, and Brandon Assis, number 23, also in the South African team, 4th in the South African Championship. He's going for 4th spot. He's right in on their tails. It's Pitt, and McLeod does a Russell Wood on them, tightens the line at Goodyear corner. Oh, and he nearly stepped out of the saddle there. Dreyer looks over his shoulder to see is anybody coming, but he gets on the business at hand. It's ahead of him. Here he comes, those darkening skies. It hasn't started to spit yet. Listen to the sound. Those motors are going up to 14,500 RPM. He's got Pitt. He's got him on the way up. No, he hasn't. That Kawasaki's got legs as he comes onto the shelf. Dreyer's favourite spot here, going on the inside. He's got Pitt. He pushes him out. And South Africans are 1 and 2. It's McLeod in the front, closing the gap on the championship lead that he has over Greg Dreyer. And these are the last 2 races. This is for 9th position. That Russell Wood has come up. He's making his way up through the field. Now he's hit some heavy traffic. It's Adam Ferguson from the Aussie, used to hold the lap record here at Kyalami. But the battle for the front. McLeod is starting to get away. Pitt is holding his own in 2nd position. And Sean White is starting to move into the picture on 28. Look at the speed they go around that Goodyear sweep. The knees are right on the deck. Knees go down again on Goodyear corner. 31 is Peterson, moved ahead of Dreyer. He doesn't want to be too far behind. He needs every single point he can get. It might be 11 points, and we've got problems here. Graham from Badar's gone into the kitty litter at Vodacom corner as Dreyer moves in on Robbie Peterson. Listen to those 4-cylinder engines. They're 600cc, 16 valve, pushing out 100-odd horsepower as they come down the Caltex mine shaft through the Haviline Energy sweep. They go absolutely flat out, knees on the deck. McLeod's in the front, then it's Andrew Pitt, and here comes Dreyer picking up 2 places. Goes on the inside of Robbie Peterson. He tightens those lines, and Dreyer's going for 3rd position, which is going to keep him 6 points ahead still of Brett McLeod going into that final race late in this afternoon. There's lightning in the distance. So far the roads have kept dry. Pitt is going for 2nd position. The flag is waiting for them 250 metres away, and Brett McLeod wins his first international race on that Elf Suzuki. He gets the flag from John Wheeler. It's Brett McLeod. It's Andrew Pitt in the Shell Kawasaki. Greg Dreyer gets his 3rd, stays 6 points ahead of McLeod in that championship race. Matter of interest, the South Africans picked up 50 points. The Aussies 32 points in that one. Dreyer's on 278 points. McLeod on 272 with 1 race to go. This race harder than you expected, or is it as hard as you expected?
Yeah, it was a bit harder than I expected because I don't have my normal race bike. It's a bit down on power, but I came through and just had to ride a little bit harder, but it was okay.
So now, as far as the South African CMS Superbike Championship goes, it's 8 points in it with 1 race to go.
Yeah, and we'll see. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and we'll give it a go. Hopefully I can make some more points on Greg in this next heat, but he's going well, and we'll see.
Final race of the year, race 2 here at Kyalami. The heavens have opened. It's wet roads ahead. There's going to be a tyre battle here. Dunlop, known to be better than Michelin tyres in these conditions. They power away for the final round 22 of the CMS Superbike Championship. And once again, it's McLeod. Oh, and a man's gone down. It's Adam Ferguson. The Australian from Melbourne has got very heavily on his shoulder there. Ooh, he's going to be sore. That bike has been destroyed. That's how slippery this road is. As this field continues round, they haven't stopped this race. The yellow flag's out, and it's McLeod. It's like a speedboat coming towards us, and Andrew Pitt. He revels in the rain. He likes riding in the rain. He's still on board with Greg Dreyer. How can you race in these conditions as he comes up on Sean White? This is what it looks like to the right as we go around slowly around Goodyear corner, start to accelerate towards the 90-degree left-hander at Goodyear as well. As he comes in, he's got Sean White just ahead of him. Starts to power it on slowly. I just let go. Greg Dreyer's thrown it away, and with it his championship chances are gone down the drain as Brett McLeod in the front starts to power it out of Woodfield. He nearly loses it, and Andrew Pitt goes to the front with McLeod in 2nd position. Here it is again in slow motion for Dreyer on number 2. Just a fraction too much on the throttle. and he nearly does a complete 360. In fact, he does. Down in the road, he goes very heavy down the leg. Russell Wood just gives him a foot over there to keep him away from getting under the wheels of his motorcycle. He's definitely hurt. He's got to crawl off the road. He's hurt his ankles very badly by the look of it as he goes, and that's his championship chances are gone. Back to the action in the front, it's Andrew Pitt. No, it's not. Brett McLeod, he went a little bit wide at Pitt, and Brett McLeod has reclaimed the lead. It's a two-way battle in the front there. Treacherous conditions, as you can see. Both of those, all Australians are on Dunlop tyres. So is McLeod. The Michelin's known to be very good in the dry, but not so good in the wet. And that's Greg Dreyer. He's badly injured, can't walk away from that one. The marshals make him very comfortable. And the news comes through that also that Adam Ferguson has broken his collarbone on that first corner shunt when it spat him off the high side of the motorcycle. Here's Paul Free. This is the dice going on for 9th spot at the moment with Russell Wood. His favourite spot goes tight on that corner. Got to be very careful as he comes out of there. It's really just, it's like riding on ice, the two of them. You've got to be so careful on the throttle. Robbie Peterson is just behind him, and Russell Wood is looking for a way through. And we've got carnage. Oil must be down the circuit. Here comes another one. Oh my goodness, 11 is Ashton. Mudley's gone down. There's Mark Willis, the Australian. Oh, Greg Moss has gone down as well. There's a steaming bike. Somebody's put oil down on the circuit. In the distance, South African rider Graham from Bedard. And Greg James arrives at number 16. Gee, we've never seen it so bad. That's on the Goodyear sweep. That's a flat-out sweep normally. There's from Bedard stuck in the sand. What a terrible sight. Bent motorcycles and riders all over the place. And the clerk of the course has made the right decision and has stopped the race. That's the culprit. Pumped oil out through that generator cover. You can see the hole. Pumped oil in the circuit. Of course, these riders can't see it. From Bedard loses it. And with his chance of being 4th in the South African Championship, Rushan Mudley arrives at great speed on his stomach. There's his Suzuki gets destroyed. And another one, the Australian, Mark Willis, comes lucky to get out of that and not hit that other motorcycle of Rushan Mudley. Greg James on number 16 destroys his Suzuki.
Confusion on the start line for the second heat, or should we call it the third heat at Kyalami. With me, Norman McLeod, chairman of the Motorcycle Racers Association. Norman, what is going on right now?
Dave, we've got a problem because half the field has gone down in AA Bowl. We have oil raised to the surface by the water and the rain. It's floating on top. What we've decided to do is restart the race, but counting the two halves of the race together time-wise, making a full race.
And the officials have given them 1 hour for the teams to repair the motorcycles, and you cannot believe it, most of them are back on the line. They're going to do the balance of this race. It's going to be over 6 laps. In the meantime, the circuit is dried out, and we're in business. And Brett McLeod, what an afternoon he's having, sweeps to the front again on number 46. He's got to come home first in this race, otherwise Dreyer is going to take the championship, although he's been sidelined. Russell Wood, great start by Russell Wood. He's up with the leading pack this time, lying in 5th or 6th spot on number 1, the Nasher Honda, as they go through McLeod, Brad Anassis, another lightning start, Andrew Pitt's in there as well. Then it's Robbie Peterson, and then Russell Wood is getting his head down. Look at that sight of motorcycles line astern. Andrew Pitt, the Aussie's gone to the front. I've never seen that before, passing on the way down into the Winfield S's. There's Russell Wood now, much more prominent this time. 6 is from Bedard. They're all back in the 8 is Dickinson on the Yamaha as they get onto the brakes for the West Bank Shout. McLeod knows he's got to be the first South African home to win this championship. He's being protected there by his teammate Brad Anassis, and then it's Robbie Peterson just behind them as they go down absolutely flat out about 230 k's an hour through this Haviland energy sweep. The Australian Andrew Pitt has gone out of picture. There's in the front. There he is again. And Brett McLeod goes a little bit wide. Brad Anassis is bringing Robbie Peterson with him as he goes up the kink. He's passed him on the way to the AA kink, and Anassis maybe trying to pull his man away from Robbie Peterson. Here he is. He's going to ruin McLeod's championship chances if they finish in this order. And just behind is Paul Free, and then the Australian from Melbourne, and then we've got Russell Wood behind them in 6th position. The Elf Suzuki team must have given out team instruction that McLeod has got to be the first South African home. They've worked it out in the pit. There's Anas looking over his shoulder. The foot says, come past me. They're not getting closer to Andrew Pitt. He's got to just be the first South African home, and it's a big fight to the finish. Robbie Peterson could ruin it, and he needs Anassis, does McLeod, to keep Robbie Peterson at bay, who's a definite threat there on that Shell Kawasaki. He's got a great turn of speed. Pitt in the lead, doing it for Australia. Head down and going as he comes. He's done it. He's won his first race here in South Africa on the Shell Kawasaki. McLeod comes home, the first South African, and the championship is his by just 1 point. Can you believe it? Pitt wins the race for Australia. The South Africans win the test match. Brett McLeod wins the CMS Superbike Championship by just 1 point from Greg Greyer, who was sidelined.
Not really a nice way to end the championship with Greg getting injured, but that's the way things happen. And luck was on my side this time, and I made those final few points, and the championship's mine.
Did you let Brad get past you near the end of that race?
No, I made a mistake down at Vodacom Bowl, and then he got by me, and he let me past in Sunset again. He showed me through. It was thanks to Brad and Suzuki and Dunlop tyres and everyone else that helped work on the bike. It's been a good year.